Eric Mwather with another Rethink video. Let's take a look at Herbalife, and for today, being July 29th, 2014, stock is down about 11%, 12%. I want to go and take a look at the weekly and the daily charts to see what we can learn from this 11% move and my best explanation as to why it's down that much in consistency with some of the principles we've been learning on my YouTube channel. So let's take a look here, and we are going to go back about a week ago when the stock was up. So about a week ago the stock was up about 25% for the day. The one thing I want to remind you is on this day the stock moved from below 30 all the way to above 50. I believe those two moves, the move above 30.90 and also the move above 50, those two forces from a technical standpoint were good enough for this one-day gain of 25%. Now the one thing we can see here is that if you take the high, so let's use the stock's own trading to tell us how to look at this chart. So this is from stock to stock. We see that this was the break, and if we find where the break took place, we see that the RSI broke down here. So this is where the break took place. This break on the RSI is consistent with the price coming off the highs and a major gap down. You can see this gap down. There was a gap in a trading there. So let me take that off so you can see the gap down. So that's where the trading took place after the stock had made a high there. So, and we also can see that from our drawing of the RSI breakpoint, the breakpoint took place there. All we have to do is draw a straight line. So you can see that even the most recent pullback, which is from here to here before the one-day spike, came when the stock failed to hold above the red line and also failed to hold above the red line there. So which was this high and this high. So lots of consistency. So the same breakpoint here, the red line, gave us short-term sell signals. What's interesting is now the stock with the spike, one-day spike, comes close to this level. As a trader, you have to anticipate that if it fails to hold above this level here, this might be a sell point. And if we go to today's chart, so now fast forward a week after that, you can see that today it's down about 12%, 11%. Why? Because now our previous line, which we had drawn on the previous chart, confirms with a double top. So over the last 1 week or so, it's formed a double top exactly at our red line. And because it is moving below 50 today, that just adds more juice to the flavor, and that's why it's down a considerable amount. So here again we see that same type situation here, back below 50, we get the opposite reaction, which is a big down day. There's also something we can look at this chart and learn from this chart, because there was a break point in the trend on the price. Now there was a trend of price break here. That was a trend break in the price. You draw a straight line like that, and you can see that this level of a previous break has now turned into multiple levels of resistance. The stock can seem to hold above that, but really for the sake of this video, this is where the RSI level that I wanted us to pay attention to, because it is consistent. It gave you the high there, and it gave you the short-term highs in the stock, which is here, and most recently double top there, which was this high at about 67. So that's very consistent. Now let's go take a look at the weekly. First and foremost, let's go about 3 weeks ago when the stock had almost a 6% down week. And the reason why it had a 6% down week is because it moved below 50 on the weekly RSI. So we had a significantly big move on the weekly RSI. If you fast forward 1 week after this, you see that the stock snapped back this sell-off by moving back above 50, closing back above 50, and gaining 8% for the week because it moved back above 50. So now if we come to the current chart, we'll see that it is now back below 50 again. So 3 back-to-back weeks 1 week was below the 50, the next week was above the 50, and this week it is slashing back below the 50 on the weekly RSI, and hence why it is down about 10%. So if you understand your relationship in the RSI between previous breakpoints and also what happens when stocks move above 50, you can understand why we are getting big moves in a name like Herbalife. Eric Mwathe, good luck, peace, and blessings.